What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the BHD podcast. Very happy to announce that the one and only OlaMae Blue is sitting pretty with us tonight. Let's give her a round of applause. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has.
Why is that?
You tell me.
Answer the question honestly.
I honestly don't know. Because you've been busy with like talking to other people that I feel like, I mean, I'm always here, but
yeah.
I feel like you got to interview like some of your friends back home and like some other people that could talk about other stuff.
Right.
And I just wanted to kind of let you do that. And when you want me to come on, I come on. And when I don't, I don't.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times that I've asked her, everyone, to get on a podcast, but literally she was either tired or it was really late at night, so we haven't really tried to fit in an episode. It's not that she hasn't wanted to. It's not that she hasn't willingly wanted to be on, but it just happened to be that we never came around to it. But yeah, you're right. I've had the opportunity to talk to some best friends and to talk to some people that I haven't talked to in person in a while. So it was nice to really get into a groove again of speaking and talking about things that were, relevant to what was going on. But sitting here now, we got a recap. I texted a couple of people knowing that we were going to get to this soon. And I was like, hey, what would be some cool topics to talk about with OlaMae? And a couple of people said EDC, the gym wear, and I think there was one more thing, but I can't remember. But those three things for sure. So I think all in all, in this we'll do a two-part thing where we kind of recap everything that has been going on the last 4 months, last 3 months. And then we'll do another episode where it's diving in more into the three topics that I mentioned. So what have we been up to? I'm going to let you tell the listeners what's been going on in our lives.
Honestly, a lot. When's the last time we got on here?
March.
Were we already here?
Yeah, we were.
Okay.
We were. It was, I believe it was the booty, growing a booty. Growing a booty was that last episode that we had. And it was, we were sitting right here.
Okay. I remember. Well, first getting you moved in, obviously.
Let's hold on. We got to give it a little. There it is.
So getting you moved in, that happened, March?
Yeah.
And then,
officially, guys, we officially moved in March. I got out of my place, broke the lease. What was it? Was it March or April?
Yeah,
okay. It was the end of March. I broke my lease and I got everything moved in by April. So that took up a good amount of our time.
Yeah.
I feel like.
So there was that, your birthday, coming up for your birthday. We went out that weekend. And then April, I feel like maybe we did something in April. Did we go to Cruces?
No, we didn't take a trip to Cruces. Last time we were in Cruces was February. That was the last time we went. I think April was really just trying to get everything settled in. Like we had, although it was a 5-minute move, guys. So when I was looking at apartments, I ended up having to settle with the only thing that they had available in an apartment and a unit that I could actually look at and go into to see what it looked like. So I settled with what I had. It was a decent apartment, honestly. It was really nice spacing. It did the job for the year, but it just so happened that OlaMae had needed to move out in, I would say, what was it? November? It was around November area.
Yeah, I had to move out of my old apartment. My lease was up at the beginning of November, and the apartment that I'm in right now wasn't available until
it was December. And we still weren't dating at the time. So it was that kind of awkward. Hey, do you mind if, I bring my stuff over here until December comes and I get an apartment? And I was like, yeah, for sure. You're going to do that for me. So I'm willing to do that for you. So we ended up getting her stuff moved in to my place. And, we lasted up until December, and then she went ahead and found a place. And it so happened to be that the place was literally right down the street from mine. So that was cool. It was an easy transition over to her apartment, but it was so challenging because she lives on the third floor and it's a little bit smaller, and I do have a lot of stuff. So trying to get everything placed and in storage just took about 2 months. So anytime you move, you guys understand what we're talking about. It's not just a 1-day process. It takes literally 3 weeks to get everything moved in. And we're talking about a 1-bedroom apartment. So
right.
that says it all right there. But yeah, in terms of that being like the biggest thing that was going on at the time, I feel like that took a lot out of us. So it pulled me away from BHD for a while. It took me a couple of weeks to get, moved in here, to get accustomed to what we're living in, and to actually start building, the episodes up again. But I would say it was a quick turnaround from April because EDC was in May.
Yeah, I was just looking right now. We didn't do anything except we went to 2 food festivals in April. We went to
that's right,
the
in
French
far
fry.
East Mesa. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we went to the French Fry Festival in downtown Phoenix, and then we went to
right. That's right.
It was supposed to be a beer fest or something, but
it was supposed to be like a food festival, but it was just like a fair. It was like a carnival type deal.
Yeah, but I mean, we
like
still
in the outskirts of Mesa.
Yeah, we still had some good food. It was like a cool drive over there
it was really good
to see what was like in Eastern Mesa. But yeah, that's pretty much all we did. Like for April, it was really just getting you moved out. We did it in bits and pieces where we got the majority. Like
shout out to my parents. Yeah, they got all of the big stuff. So our couch and Jada, shout out Jada. We got our couch over here. We got TV. We got the rest of the big stuff. The whole bed that I had to take and put into storage, we got over here. So shout out to them for getting all that stuff, because it needed more than just us two, and we needed an actual truck for it. So it was nice to have them come up and help me out with that. But yeah, I would say April, we did a couple of things, but it was very low key. I feel like this year has been very low key in terms of activities that we've partook in, just because of the goals and the I feel like the end destination we want to get to, it's very, very detailed, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything possible to limit the spending, you know what I mean? And just get into a position that we can be able to move into a nicer place and bigger place come November.
Yeah. It's pretty much been very laid back. We did take the big trip in December, January. We went to Cruces again in February. You asked me to be your girlfriend in February. So then after your birthday, April, like it was really low key, just because again, really there was a lot going on in April with you breaking the lease, like financially,
it was a lot.
Everything out. And like I said, doing it in bits and pieces where we went and did like the bulk of it with your family. And then there was just a bunch of cleaning and like little stuff that we had to sort through because you just have a lot of stuff. And then again, just not trying to spend a bunch of money because we were going to have like a quick turnaround time. My birthday is early May. And then at the end of May, we also went to EDC, which we blew a bag on and went to EDC.
Yeah, we went a little nuts there, guys. That was a really cool experience. And I think that might be the part 2 of what we get into in terms of in detail of what we spent and what to kind of plan for when you enter a big festival like that. I think there's a lot of knowledge that you can take out of the stuff that we experienced for us being first timers and experiencing Vegas as a whole. We stayed middle of the strip. We stayed literally walking distance from Caesar's Palace?
Everywhere.
It was, I would say that's probably the most central location you can get on the strip. Like we were at the Link. Yeah. And that just says it all right there. Like you're paying not only just for the hotel, you're paying for the convenience, the luxury, the status. Like that's what you're paying for when it comes to it. And I think we can get into more detail when it comes to that episode. But it was a really fun trip. I think we were there for 4 to 5 days. EDC was amazing. It was by far the best experience. I would say if we had to rate it from last year to this year, I think we'll hold that off for the next episode so you guys can listen more into it. But it was fun. I had so much fun with you.
I did have a lot of fun. It was a totally different experience, and I won't go too much into it from what we did last time, because last time was kind of like last minute. I won't even say last minute.
It was just low budget.
It was low budget because we also had like our own stuff going on. He and I had just met, or not just met, but just started hanging out.
We didn't know what it was like. That was our first trip, I think.
That was our first like real vacation together, but it was also like the first time that either one of us had been to EDC or Vegas. So we really didn't know what to expect, what to budget for or anything. We kind of, thought we could get away with, saving X amount of dollars, and it just didn't work out that way. We ended up spending way more than we planned to spend just in Ubers alone, which is why we did things a little bit differently this year. But overall, we bought the tickets in June and we went in November. And it's funny because we bought them like 2 weeks after we started hanging out.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You were like, "Hey, do you want to like go to EDC?"
I remember that
chance?
day. Yeah, the tickets dropped, guys, and I was like, this is a year. Like this has to be the year that I go to EDC. I wanted to go. I've been wanting to go since like my sophomore, junior year of high school. And I told OlaMae, I was like, "Look, this is where we're at. I want to go to this. I think you would have a lot of fun. I know you don't know EDM music like that. You listen to a few songs or tracks here and there, but I think it would be a lot of fun for both of us." Like I went out with her, I would say a handful of times when we met, and I was like, this girl's cool. Like she can vibe to reggaeton, hip hop, EDM music. I was like, I think she would have a good time there. So I asked her and she was all, "I'm down." And I've never really had friends that were like down to make that purchase in terms of money wise and just turn around and do it. So I was like, all right, we'll see. So I bought the ticket and I was like, "Hey, are you still wanting to go? Because I'm going to go." And she was like, "Hell yeah, I'll go." And I was like, "Oh shit."
Well, yeah. As soon as you texted me, I like went on the site and I was just like, okay. And I just bought the ticket and like we didn't make any plans for anything until very last minute.
No,
like
I told her, I was like, my dad has Hilton honors points. I was like, we can stay at a Hilton hotel and get it. Yeah. Shout out to my dad. Although it was still about a 60, 70-minute drive to EDC. We didn't know that, but it worked for the time. We literally packed up an ice chest full of sandwiches, strawberries,
like fruit, like lean cuisine.
I think
like
we ate out once that
once
trip.
A day. Like we went to
I would say we ate out at most 3 times that whole weekend.
I know, but we were there for 3 days. So like when we got there, we just had snacks and we didn't eat the first day that we were there.
The 2 days we spent we spent our food money at EDC.
Yeah.
And then the last day we spent our money at a cool brunch place. What was it called? Do you remember what it was called? It's a really good brunch place.
Remember.
It's known throughout the whole city of Vegas
or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it was really it's like a mom and pop type restaurant, and it's very old, but the food was delicious. But yeah, I would say that trip was really fun, and that I turned around and I was like, you know what, this would be kind of cool to go again. So we kind of looked at each other, we're like,
as soon as we got home, as soon as we got home, it was at the end of November and October when we went. We got home. It was like the 1st of November or something like that, or the first week of November, and the tickets dropped for 2022. And I was like, the tickets just dropped. And he was just like, nah, he had told me like, we're not going to do this again, like next year or whatever.
No, I didn't say that.
You were like on the fence about it.
Yeah, I was on the fence, but I didn't say we weren't going to go. I was like, honestly, I had fun, but I just don't know. Like, are you down to do that? I'm not sure if you're okay with that. And she was all, honestly, let's do it. And I was all,
well, we were drinking, I think that night when it dropped, and we were just like, we kind of like looked at each other and we're like, okay, let's buy the
but
tickets.
I think we didn't buy it until we were sober. Like we bought it the next day.